God says, this is happening behind your back. Your next-door neighbor is cutting all your connections. Imagine this. You wake up one morning to find that the fence dividing your property from your neighbors has vanished. Confused, you step outside, only to discover that not just the fence but all your connections have been severed. Your internet is down, your phone is dead, and even your power seems to have been hijacked. What on earth is happening? Well, according to a divine revelation, your next-door neighbor is the mastermind behind this disruption. Yes, that's right. While you were sleeping peacefully, blissfully unaware, they were busy cutting off all your connections, both literal and metaphorical. But before you rush over to confront them, let's delve deeper into this intriguing scenario. The idea of a neighbor sabotaging your connections may seem far-fetched. But in today's hyper-connected world, where privacy and boundaries are increasingly blurred, it's not as implausible as it sounds. With the rise of technology and social media, we've become accustomed to sharing our lives with others, often without fully understanding the implications. And as our reliance on digital connections grows, so too does the potential for sabotage and manipulation. But who is this mysterious neighbor, and why would they go to such lengths to disrupt your life? Well, let's consider the possibilities. Perhaps they're envious of your success and are trying to sabotage you out of spite. Maybe they're a disgruntled former friend or lover seeking revenge for a perceived slight. Or, it could be that they're simply a mischievous prankster, delighting in causing chaos for their amusement. Regardless of their motives, the fact remains that your neighbor has effectively cut you off from the outside world, leaving you isolated and vulnerable. And while you may be tempted to confront them directly, it's important to approach the situation with caution. After all, confronting someone who has already demonstrated a willingness to disrupt your life could potentially escalate the situation and lead to further harm. Instead, consider reaching out to other sources of support, such as friends, family, or local authorities. By enlisting the help of others, you can increase your chances of resolving the situation peacefully and safely. Additionally, take steps to safeguard your connections in the future. Whether it's by strengthening your security measures or establishing backup systems in case of emergencies. But beyond the immediate practical concerns, this scenario raises deeper questions about the nature of connection and community in the modern world. In an era where we're more connected than ever, are we also more vulnerable to manipulation and control? And how can we balance the benefits of connectivity with the need for privacy and autonomy? These are complex issues with no easy answers, but one thing is clear. We must remain vigilant and proactive in protecting our connections and guarding against potential threats. Whether it's a nosy neighbor meddling in our affairs or a faceless hacker exploiting our vulnerabilities, we must stay one step ahead and take proactive measures to safeguard our digital and physical lives. So, the next time you find yourself feeling disconnected or isolated, take a moment to consider the source of your discomfort. Is it simply a technical glitch, or could there be something more sinister at play? And remember, while it may be tempting to blame external forces for our problems, true empowerment comes from taking control of our own lives and refusing to let anyone else dictate our fate. The revelation that your next-door neighbor is cutting all your connections may seem like something out of a paranoid fantasy. But in today's interconnected world, it's a scenario that's not as far-fetched as it may seem. Whether it's out of envy, spite, or sheer mischief, there are people out there who are willing to go to great lengths to disrupt our lives and undermine our sense of security. But by remaining vigilant, proactive, and reaching out for support when needed, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. So, the next time you find yourself facing a sudden disruption in your connections, take a deep breath, gather your resources, and remember that you are not alone, and together, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. Moreover, this peculiar scenario of a neighbor cutting off all our connections also prompts us to reflect on the fragility of trust and the importance of fostering strong, healthy relationships within our communities. In a world where suspicion and paranoia often reign supreme, it's easy to view our neighbors with skepticism, seeing them as potential threats rather than allies. However, it's precisely in times of crisis that we realize the value of community and the power of solidarity. Instead of viewing our neighbors with suspicion, perhaps we should strive to build bridges of understanding and cooperation. By reaching out to those around us, we can cultivate a sense of trust and mutual support that transcends petty rivalries and personal vendettas. After all, in a world where our connections are constantly under threat, our greatest strength lies in our ability to come together and support one another in times of need. Of course, building trust and fostering community is easier said than done, especially in today's fast-paced, individualistic society. But perhaps it's time we reevaluate our priorities and invest more time and energy into nurturing meaningful connections with those around us. Whether it's through simple acts of kindness, like offering a helping hand or a friendly smile, or more organized efforts, such as neighborhood watch programs or community events. There are countless ways we can work together to create a safer, more supportive environment for everyone. In the end, the revelation that your neighbor is cutting off all your connections serves as a wake-up call, reminding us of the importance of vigilance, solidarity, and mutual support in an increasingly interconnected world. While it may be tempting to retreat into isolation and distrust, true resilience lies in our ability to come together and confront the challenges we face as a community. So, the next time you find yourself facing a sudden disruption in your connections, whether it's due to a mischievous neighbor or some other external force, remember that you are not alone. Reach out to those around you, seek support, and work together to overcome whatever obstacles may come your way. After all, in the end, It's not the strength of our fences that defines us but the strength of our connections.